This is Isla Redonda, one of a small grouping of islands known as the Marietas. Located about 2 miles off the Pacific coast of Mexico, these beautiful islands were formed about 5 million years ago from an underwater volcanic eruption. To this day, the islands are considered a national park and a protected biosphere, as they house over 90 species of flora, fauna, and wildlife. However, one of the islands, Redonda, houses something even bigger, a secret. Playa Escondida, or Hidden Beach, is an incredible natural landmark. This beach is completely obscured by a large rocky dome, with a hole at the top illuminating the crystal clear blue water. National Geographic writer Annie Fitzsimmons says, quote, "Picture being in an inner tube of sorts with a ring of islands surrounding you. That's what it's like." Since the Hidden Beach is entirely surrounded by a rock formation, explorers and tourists must wait until low tide. According to writer Brandon Presser, when the tides recede, the top of the long passageway emerges just above the waves, allowing the right amount of space to swim through James Bond style, sans scuba gear, of course. The formation of the Hidden Beach has long stumped geologists. Dr. Benjamin Black, a volcanologist at the University of California, presents one theory, a theory of erosion. Dr. Black explains that the igneous rocks at the interior of the formed islands would have been less dense and thus less strong than the outer shell when it was formed 5 million years ago. Thus, erosion over time would have more easily worked its way through the interior of the island, thus leaving the outer shell and creating this domed beach. However, he also presents another theory, one that has been taking hold in the scientific community. Bombs. Since its creation, the Marietas Islands have been largely uninhabited by humans. Thus, in the 1940s, the Mexican government believed it to be a perfect place for a ballistics testing site. This continued throughout the 20th century until famed scientist and explorer Jacques Cousteau brought awareness and called for the protection of the Marietas. But that's a story for another time. The theory is that one or multiple of the tested bombs landed on and imploded the less dense rocks at the center of the island, thus hollowing it out and creating the geologic marvel we know and love. Luckily for the island and its many visitors, further natural erosion is not a major threat to the formation. In fact, according to Black, due to its density, the outer shell won't diminish for at least a few thousand years. However, there is a bigger threat to the island: its many visitors. Due to its beauty, Mexico's federal tourism department has used the island to attract more and more tourists to the beach and its surrounding area. In fact, from 2012 to 2015, yearly visitors increased by almost 5 times. During Easter weekend of 2016, over 2,500 tourists headed to Hidden Beach every single day. This massively blows the island's projected carrying capacity of about 600 out of the water. This massive increase in human usage of the beach is incredibly dangerous to the island's biodiversity and natural habitats, according to COWPROJECT, Mexico's National Protected Areas Commission. They've even indicated that the local coral reef has been adversely affected by this. Like we've been learning in coastal society, human intervention can have drastic consequences to coastal wildlife and ecosystems. That's no different for Hidden Beach and the Marieta Islands. Luckily, the Mexican government is addressing the issue. CONAMP has already ordered multiple months of closure during the year, as well as limiting the amount of daily visitors allowed to the beach during the open seasons. While this does sadly decrease the amount of people who can experience this gorgeous landmark, it is also an incredibly important step to preserve it and its ecosystems into the future.